What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Heart of Catawba, where community meets conversation. I'm your host, Tyler.
And I'm Laurel. Let's get into it.
This episode is sponsored by Cranford Hospitality, a family-owned business built on good food, hard work, and community. Whether it's a steakhouse night out, a casual barbecue, breakfast with the family, or a drink from their brewery or distillery, everything they do is about bringing people together. We're grateful to be sponsored by a family that puts heart into everything they create. For our first part of the show, we always like to go over community events and community happenings in the area. I will start off Friday, February 27th. We have Boba Fest. I think I'm saying that right.
Bob?
It says Bob Fest, but it's B, capital B, lowercase O, and then a capital B. So I'm going to say Boba.
Is it the Science Center one?
It is.
Okay, I'm looking at it too.
What would you say?
It says, yeah, I do see
Boba Fest.
Bob Fest. Bob Fest.
Is it Bob? I just don't like that. That's hilarious.
Bob Fest.
Bob Fest. No, I don't think it's Bob Fest. But anyways, calling all amateur astronomers. They're having keynote speakers, door prizes, table talks, planetarium shows, and more. They do this every year. It is going to be February 27th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Also at City Walk Brewery, we are going to have the Blue Waters Trio. That will be the 27th starting at 7, so probably 7 to 10, 7 to 11. So come hang out with us down at City Walk. And then the Hickory Premiere is having a show called Whole Lotta Presents. It is the premiere Led Zeppelin tribute. That will be Saturday, February 28th. The doors will open at 7 o'clock, and you can get tickets on their website at thehickorypremiere.com.
Cool. And then I'm seeing at the Hickory Metro, they have the Hickory Home and Garden Show. That is February 28th and March 1st. Again, that's at the Hickory Metro. You purchase tickets online. So they have ideas and inspiration while you connect with local home and garden professionals. So that'll be lots of fun. I know because we're going into spring and everybody's starting to do their landscaping stuff.
Once
and
your
then
grass comes back to life.
Yeah. And then we have the Hickory Premiere has an event called Whole Lot of Presents.
Literally just talked about that.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Zeppelin?
Shows how much Laurel pays attention to what I'm talking about, guys.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant to talk about the Performing Arts Center. The Newton Performing Arts. This is why we edit. March the 1st at the Newton Performing Arts Center at 3 p.m. The tickets are $35, $40. Wait, the time on here says 3 p.m., but it says doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Feeling groovy as Jim and the boys take you back in town. Lava lamps, vibes, far out 70s vibes.
I love me a good lava lamp.
I have one in my room, actually.
I can just sit there and stare at it all day.
And then the next things really aren't until the following weekend, but there is a gym and mineral show on March the 6th. So y'all will want to mark your calendars for that. I always enjoy that. I
just want to shout out Twyla McDermott. She left us a comment on YouTube. She is having the Zen Fest 2026 on May 2nd at Catawba Farms. I will definitely get some more information regarding that when we get closer to time, but go ahead and put in your calendars that Zen Fest 2026 is going to be May 2nd at Catawba Farms.
That's usually a Saturday.
It usually is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited. That's a lot of fun. I know usually they have like a lot of local like craft vendors. They have like yoga themed, like just Zen. Just think like Zen, like a vibe. So that'll be fun. I'll definitely be there.
Yep, for sure. Well, and we appreciate your comment. If anybody else has any events going on in the area, please drop us a comment, send us a message, tag us in it, whatever you got to do, and we will do what we need to do to promote you guys.
Amen.
Amen. All right, we are moving on to our Voices of the Valley. All right, we are back with another segment of the Voices of the Valley. This segment, we have Mr. Jason Hooper with Carolina Pedal Works. Cool. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, where you grew up, and how you got started into bike riding.
Yeah, so I grew up in Maryland, actually. Lived there until I went to college. I went to school at WVU in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Okay.
So I did 4 years there, and I got a job in Morgantown working for a motocross magazine. So I stayed there for another 4 more years and ended up moving here to Hickory in 2009. So I've been in Hickory for, 17 years almost.
What brought you to Hickory?
The work I was doing, I was working in the motorcycle industry. I worked for the GNCC series. I don't know if you they used to have one in Morganton at Steel Creek.
Yep.
So that's the company that I worked for. And this was just kind of like a central location. It was easy access to a lot of the different races that we were having to go to. So we had friends here. It was my girlfriend, then my wife now. We wanted to go south, get out of the winters in West Virginia are rough.
Yeah.
You know? So we wanted to get out of there, and we're like, well, we'll go somewhere where we know people. And we had some friends that lived here in Hickory, so yeah, here we are. That's how we ended up here.
I always like to ask people because Hickory's like kind of just off the beaten path. I mean, it's definitely a bigger city for sure in North Carolina, but it's not like Charlotte, Raleigh.
Yeah, and I mean that was really it's that simple. We're like, we wanted to go south. We had friends that lived in Hickory. She had some family friends that lived on Lake James, so we were like kind of familiar with the area. We'd been to Steel Creek like 20 times, so we're like, okay, Hickory it is. And I mean, and Hickory now versus Hickory 17 years ago is way different.
Yeah,
place.
completely different. God, I love me some Steel Creek. They don't have that slide anymore. They got rid of that because everybody was getting hurt. You know about the slide at Steel Creek?
Yeah.
That was like the most depressing thing when I heard that they were getting rid of that slide.
Taking away a piece of childhood.
I know. Sorry to get off the track, but I love that slide.
I mean, that's the sort of origin story as to like how we got to Hickory.
Tell us about the magazine. I'm curious about that. Like, what did you do there?
So I went to school for graphic design. My career arc is not it makes almost no sense. So
it never does.
Hey, we love that.
Yeah. So I went to school for graphic design. So I'll back up even further. I grew up racing motocross my whole life. That's what I did. And I knew that Racer X is the name of the magazine, was headquartered in Morgantown. And they're kind of the family that owns that is sort of they own the pro motocross series. They own the amateur motocross championship.
Okay.
They own GNCC. They own everything. And I ended up getting an internship there when I was in my junior year of college. And they hired me straight after I graduated to be a graphic designer. So I did graphic design for them for 4 years. And the GNCC series, they have a TV show that it was on Versus then, which turned into NBC Sports. So they decided they wanted to take the production in-house. And they were like, Jason, you can figure it out. I'm like, I've never edited video in my life, but I would know how to use a computer or whatever. So I ended up producing the TV show on NBC Sports from 2009 to 2015 for them. So that was kind of it's just a weird. So
Learn on the fly.
Right. I went to school for graphic design, and then I became a video producer, television producer. It was weird.
Surprise.
And in that, so then around 2014, I started actually promoting my own motorcycle race series. So I started that in 14. So there's a little bit of overlap there. So I was doing that, and then we opened the bike shop in 16. I sold my race series in 2021 after the COVID stuff. I was I didn't want to do it. My daughter was getting older. I was traveling a lot. I just wanted to be home. And now I'm pretty much just full-time at the bike shop, but it was kind of so I'm a graphic design major that owns a bike shop that used to do video production and promoted dirt bike races.
That's super. What was the name of your series?
It was Full Gas Sprint Enduro. So
I feel like I've heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, it was us, National Enduro, and GNCC were the three big off-road series. So KTM, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, Honda, all the factory teams raced my races as well as those races. So it was we did that for 6 seasons. I don't know. It's it's just a weird thing.
How did you get into creating your own race? How did you one day wake up, Yeah,
this is it's super obscure stuff. So the people that know will know, but I'll try and make it super simple. So there's different types of racing. So you see Supercross on TV, they race inside a stadium. Motocross, they race on a permanent track outside. Then there's GNCC, which is hare scramble, which is long tracks, 9, 10, 12 mile, and they race for 3 hours. And then there's enduro racing, which is you're basically racing against the clock. You race 6 or 8 times in a day. And they're little time trials, and they add it all up.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
So the enduros that we used to do or still do in America were real long. So they'd race for 100 miles. But what they do in Europe is like these little short races, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And then they have this one big race every year. It's called the International 6-Day Enduro. And it's kind of like the Olympics for like off-road motocross. Like every country sends a team. And like historically, America would go there and just get their ass kicked. So I went a couple times doing video production stuff. And I like saw it. And I'm like, wow, this is like, it's way different than what we do here. And it's no wonder we suck.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I'm friends with all the pro guys because from my job and all that. And so we just kind of like, man, it'd be cool if we had one of those here.
Yeah.
So we did one just to see if it like would work. And it did. And then so we started doing a series. It was cool.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And like in that time, America ended up winning the ISDE. So like I was like, it was kind of neat, to watch it like all kind of work out.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up getting like the support from the factory teams and all that. It was just because they were spending all this money to send their guys to do these races and they weren't doing well. And then they're like, oh, well, we can put some money into this. And so
kind of build it up.
Yeah. So it was cool. I don't know, but it was just promoting events is really, really hard, really stressful. And we went from like, we do 8 to 10 races a year from far south as Florida up to like Pennsylvania, over to Indiana, Ohio. So, I mean, I lived in a motorhome basically.
Oh, 100%.
And it was super fun when my daughter was little and, like we'd just pack up the camper and like my wife would drive a truck and a trailer. I'd drive the camper and a trailer and we'd have Macy would be with us and it was sick. And then she started kindergarten and it started getting really stressful.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened in that year of trying to like I was trying to do like mass attendance events during COVID, and it was like
everybody's confused. Nobody wants to participate.
So I was like every day I was just sitting there like refreshing like all the different like governor's executive orders to find places where you could have an event.
Yeah,
and so like that year it sucked all the fun out of it. And so I just decided I wasn't going to do it anymore. And
are people still running that same type of event that you created?
Yeah. So like there was like a spin-off series that happened.
Awesome.
Because like I actually just quit. Like one year we were just like,
I'm done.
I had like, it was the point I had a series schedule and a press release to send out about the 2021 series. And I had a letter saying that we're stopping. And my wife and I just sat at the dining room table. We're like, which one do we do?
Yeah.
And, this is a whole nother subject too, but my wife does okay. And it was like kind of the thing that she does kind of like took off and she was making enough money where we were like, we don't need to do this anymore. The stress, it's not worth it. So we sent out the letter that we were quitting. And so because of that, another series kind of like spawned off of it that like kind of took up what we were doing. But then the next year someone bought all of my stuff, the name, website, everything, and then started it back up again. So now there was actually like 2 of them doing the same thing. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It was just like a whole, I don't know.
I mean, because that was such a hard decision, I'm sure, to sit there between both of those pieces of paper that you've put everything in and, like you said, lived in a motorhome for the whole time just to walk away from it.
Yeah, and the timing was good too because there's a lot of overlap here. So like the bike shop was growing at the same time. The guy that I had that was kind of like managing the shop, he quit like in that same time frame. So it was just kind of like, I mean, maybe it just makes sense for like, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It was like my wife's project was taken off to where we didn't have to rely on me for the income. I had someone leave from the bike shop. Like it just moved over, right?
Yeah.
Like I just basically
for
didn't
sure.
skip a beat.
Yeah.
And so that's how I ended up just kind of at the shop all the time now.
So tell us
about
go ahead.
the opening of the shop.
Go ahead. Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, so it's been 10 years. January 17th was 10 years.
Congratulations.
So it's super cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
So when I started, there was I had a business partner, Brad Stevens, who's from Hickory. We became buddies through a mutual dirt bike friend when I moved here in 2009. We became thick as thieves, and we would just ride bikes together all the time, and just what people do, like whatever it is, like you're into, you're like, I could do it better than that guy.
100%.
Like, and it's like everywhere you go, you're like, oh, why'd they do that? Why'd they make this decision? So we would just talk like while we're riding or like driving to go ride or whatever. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we had our own place? Wouldn't it be cool if blah blah blah? Like, what would we do? How would we do it different? And then so around, I don't know what year it was, probably 2014-ish, 2015. A guy moved here and started running the Clark's bike shop. His name's Kurt Holtzclaw, and he's like our age, young guy. He was managing the shop. We became friendly with him, and he kind of gave us the inside track that Clark's was going to close the bike shop because, you know, they're all Mr. Tires now, right?
Yep.
So when they sold to Mr. Tire, they just closed the bike shop and so that kind of gave us like, that was like sort of the spark. Because like Brad is a nurse anesthetist. He has a full-time job. I was running the race series. Like neither of us could actually do it. We needed like a guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Kurt was like super talented bike mechanic, had been in the industry for a long time. And he was going to need a job when this place closed.
Yeah.
So just all the pieces kind of came together and we had the heads up, like, so we could reach out to all the manufacturers, you know, like we were a giant dealer then, like we had all the contacts, we could like make it all happen.
Yeah.
So that's how the bike shop started. So it was like, it's been an idea that we had floated around forever, you know, like bike shops historically and what they were here in Hickory. I'm not trying to like throw shade at anybody that had one, but like they were in a strip mall. You'd walk in and it was like, had no soul, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd walk in and like, you just get the stuff you wanted and you'd leave.
For sure.
But like cycling is it's a sport or whatever you want to call it, hobby, pastime. It's really about like connection with people. Like you don't want to do it by yourself. It sucks to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So like, but there was no place to, like you would do group rides, but then when the group ride was over, you'd all go somewhere else because there's nothing to do at the bike shop.
100%.
So like, you know, our idea was like, we for sure wanted to have like a bar. We wanted to have beer. We like place to hang, right?
Yeah.
So, and you know, that idea has evolved now where we have coffee and beer and wine and we've expanded and all that. But that was kind of like the impetus behind it. It's like, we want a place like where we can go hang out with our friends, other people that maybe we don't even know, but we know we're all into the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so all the pieces just kind of came together and we found we started looking for spaces, found a super cool space at the Holler Mill. And, you know, really just had to build 4 walls because the building there is so cool. Like,
Is that where you're located now?
yeah.
Okay.
So that place is like, there's a lot of different stuff that's been in and out of there, but basically it's just us and Soma Church there right now. The restaurants have kind of left, but hopefully they'll come back, and Blowing Rock still brewing beer over there. But yeah,
It's
we
such a
started.
cool space.
It's so cool. So when
is.
we opened, it was Delishi frozen yogurt was in
Okay,
there. We
yes.
were right next
I
door
know
to
what you're talking
Delishi.
about.
And then Delishi turned into edible arrangements or whatever. And then they closed and we took that space over. So now we have our old space and then we knocked out the walls and we've got the corner there where Delishi was. So yeah, that's the kind of origin story of like how we came up with the idea. It was just kind of like, you know, this thought that what we have here isn't what it could be or should be. And like, we thought we could do it better. And then, you know, you find the right people, you know, that's like a huge part of it.
100%.
Right? Like, you know, so that's kind of how it all.
It all starts with friendly competition.
Yeah. Well, you know,
and then
it's like
helping each other level
yeah, and you
up.
travel, you go someplace. Like there's a place in Brevard called the Hub, which is one of the coolest bike shops like I've ever been to. And you'd go there and you're like, oh, this is what it could be.
Yeah.
And you know, there's enough people here in Hickory that ride. So that was kind of, that's kind of how it all got started.
Do you do a lot of group rides and stuff like that? Because I see a lot of people in Hickory especially.
So like I organize on Tuesdays and Thursdays once the time changes. We do evening rides like after work.
Okay.
There's a group of mainly retired guys that ride from the shop in the mornings, like usually Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And then there's a Hickory Velo Club here too in town. So they've got like 120 members and they use our shop as a starting and ending point just because like we kind of purpose built it for that sort
100%.
of thing, right? So, you know, they can come before the ride, get a latte, cappuccino, whatever. After the ride, they can all hang out, talk shit, have a beer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so it's kind of, it's cool. It's worked out. Like it's turned into what we wanted it to be.
Yeah, 100%.
What time do you open?
We
So
don't-
if people get there early, you know.
Yeah, so that's always
That's
the trick.
tricky.
We open
Yeah.
at 10. It's been my dream to do like proper coffee shop hours.
Yeah.
But it's like staffing is always like the biggest issue.
Always.
And that's always
Having
the
like
hardest.
a 6 to 10 a.m. person is kind of tricky, but it's
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah, that's
if there's any
it's kind
baristas
of
out there.
For sure. I'm sure there's some
It's
watching.
in the works. That's
Yeah.
like sort of the plan, but it just gets, you know, it gets a little bit complicated. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, you know, in the order of like what's most important, obviously like the bicycle sales and service is where I make all of my money really.
Yep.
You know, the beer and the coffee are just like an accompaniment to it. You know,
Extra.
that's what, But so I have to prioritize the bike side of it. But yeah, I mean, if you've never, like, I don't know, like our coffee's good. Like, it's really good. So if you ever, like, I don't know.
We're going to have to
Yeah,
swing
we'll
by.
come for coffee.
Yeah, you should.
100%.
Yeah, you should.
We'll come
you
for
should.
coffee for sure.
Yeah, just check out the space. Like, we've got a super sick space. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come swing by. I've been
I
meaning
thought you
to-
said wine too.
We do
so-
have wine. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it's like I had to
be
redo
there.
my liquor license a few years ago, and they're like, like $200 more. You can do wine too. I'm like, oh shit.
Easy.
I saved $200 a year in wine, getting it at wholesale for my wife. So I'm like,
There you go.
100%.
There it is. It all balances out.
yeah, no doubt.
That's so fun. Because I love that space, because I definitely think that you're 100% right. The traditional bike shop, you go in, you get what you need, and you leave. You don't hang out. It's not like a welcoming space.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. I read an article the other day, like even like Starbucks is kind of having this shift back to like making the stores places that you want to hang out in, and they call it like your third home. So you have like your real home where you live in, right? Your work is probably your second home. That's where you spend. And then the third home is the place that you want to go when you're not there. And like I didn't know this was a philosophy but it was kind of like what we were creating. And it's cool to see like a massive corporation like
100%.
they're spending like all this money to make the stores warmer and comfier inside, where they for years they kind of made it like drive through,
Prioritize the to-go.
takeout, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Order
so
online, grab it, go.
It's
Right.
crazy how, and it's going just up. It's going to continue to just do the reverse, because even with COVID, like that, then at that time they were prioritizing getting people the heck out.
You need socially distanced. And all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. And now we're back to everybody be cozy, but like about how long until it's like, it's time to everybody stay home again for whatever reason.
I hope not.
I hope not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't handle another one of those for sure.
Yeah. But I think the thing is like retail in general is like super duper hard, and everything's kind of changing too, where like you can't be just a retail space, right? Because if all the person wants to do is just buy something, they can do it on the internet, and they can probably get it for maybe probably cheaper and faster than I can get it and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like we're, like bike shops are going out of business left and right, but the ones that you see that are successful are doing a little bit extra.
They're multifaceted.
Yeah.
You have
it's
to.
'cause, like, why are you going to come see me instead of ordering it on Jensen on the internet? Right.
Yep.
Like
Right.
you're going to come because like we're nice, we're friendly, we have a cool space. You can probably get what you need today. Like, like we support the local scene, like we give discounts to the cycling club and the Nike team and all that sort of stuff. But like, you got to just kind of be looking for like different ways, like to set yourself apart from the competition.
100%.
That's been my focus,
Community over convenience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like a lot of what we do, I feel like is like board. It sounds silly because you charge for it, but we do a lot of stuff pro bono as well. But like it's sort of a community service, right?
It is.
Like if
Your knowledge
if there
is
wasn't
a
a bike
service.
shop here, what do you do? Like who changes like kids' tubes and tires and
Yep.
and like and there are a lot of people here that ride bikes for like that's their main mode of transportation.
100%.
And they'd be totally hosed if there wasn't a place. And like we're not the only one. Thankfully, there's still one more shop in Hickory. Lightning Cycles is still open and operating. But, it's when we first opened, there was a point where there was 4 shops in town. Now we're down to 2.
Yeah.
But, like, you really need that, like, local place to go. Like, what else are you going to do if you don't have it? The internet can't fix your bike.
100%.
So we talk about that a lot, like, joke about that, like
Yeah.
you might find a YouTube video that'll show you how, but most of the time when somebody watches one of those YouTube videos, they end up back at us anyway because
Fix my mistake.
they've screwed it up so bad.
Yeah.
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 That's me, because I can watch all the YouTube videos in the world, and if it's tough, like you watch the video, you see how to do it, but do you actually know what
Right.
you're doing?
Well, and if
do you
it's
have
not
the
the thing, you
tools?
think you're watching this video because you think it's this thing that's wrong, but it's really this thing that caused that problem, and then you just you're just chasing your tail. So, yeah.
That's so funny, because chasing tails is 100%. That's what you have to do, because you don't know what you're doing. So you're like, it might be this, it might be that. No, let's try this. And by the time you're down the rabbit hole, you're so far gone that you've messed up the whole bike.
Yeah, and everything's gotten more complicated too, with advancements in technology. So like we got e-bikes, obviously, so that's a whole nother realm of stuff. They've got motors and batteries and electronics and controllers, and then super high-end bikes have electronic shifting and So it's not just like back in the day, it was a cable,
Yeah,
and
and
a
you
derailleur, and a
click the-
shifter. Like it wasn't that like it wasn't rocket science, but it's getting like way more advanced, and yeah, it's harder to do it on your own.
Oh, there's no way. Those e-bikes, those are crazy. And they're just, I feel like I see them more and more
What
nowadays.
did I see in Hickory? Was that like a scooter or something? Have you seen that downtown on the square? It's like at the end where Lulu's Corner is. They have this little, like, appears like a bike rack, but it's like electric scooters that you can rent or
Oh
something.
no.
Yeah, look out for that next time you're
I'll have to see.
downtown.
Like
Yeah.
I know that in Charlotte they have like the Lime bikes
It's
and,
not
and
those
stuff like that.
I've not seen what I saw there before. It's not like the bike, but it's not like the scooter either with the seat. It doesn't have a seat. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's different.
Yeah, I might have to go by and swing and see that.
Yeah.
So people can bring their electric bikes to you guys too. Like how do you evolve with all of that knowledge that's coming out? Like how do you stay educated and up to date?
So
You kinda
thankfully,
just-
a lot of the manufacturers that we sell, they have like these like online universities
nice.
that will like, you know,
Training
and like databases,
module.
videos, all that sort of
Cool.
stuff that you can watch and learn. And, you know, just like they're pretty much open books, and you have direct access to people there that will, you know, and a lot of times like you can tell like they're kind of learning with you.
Yeah.
If you call in, you're like, hey, we got this problem. Have you seen that before? Like check this flow chart and try these things, and then if not, like you just end up being a parts replacer sometimes. But yeah, we work on e-bikes. It gets a little tricky when it's motor battery type stuff and they didn't buy it from us, or it's not a brand that we like sell.
Yeah.
So that's what I always like. It sounds self-serving because I sell them, but like don't, if you can afford it, do not buy one off Amazon, because if something breaks, you're
done.
You're so screwed. You've got a 60, 70, 80 pound bicycle with no motor. Like, and it happens all the time. It sucks, you know, because a lot of these companies, you know, they're selling them on Amazon, but it's just some obscure Chinese company, and there's no tech support. There's no warranty. There's no, you know,
Yeah.
there's nothing. So whether it's from me or another bike shop, that's definitely your best bet. You know, everything we sell, I can get parts for. I have tech support, you know, like all those, like
100%.
dealer support to fix. So I know it sounds like, obviously I want you to buy it from me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It helps. But yeah, you just feel so bad. These people come in and they still spent, like, it's not an insignificant amount of money, you know, $600, $800, $1,000. And then it breaks and they're effed. Like they can't do anything. You're like, well, I mean, like you can only do so much.
100%.
Like, so yeah, that's kind of, but the e-bikes, that's like I mean, if you look at like market sales, like it's the only like segment of bicycles that's growing. Everything else is either flat or declining, but e-bike sales are just like through the roof.
That was going to be my question. What kind of trends have you seen like in the last 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so I mean,
Anything
the
that
e-bike thing
surprised
is
you?
like is massive, you know, and the price points are coming down even from like big retailers. So like we sell Trek is like our big brand. Everybody's kind of heard of them. You know, 3 years ago, like $2,800, $3,000 was the cheapest e-bike you could get from them for like a commuter, like hybrid, like ride the city walk kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now they're down into like the $1,700 range. And that's getting closer to be able to compete with the $800,000, you know, Amazon specials or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so if I can get the person in there that's looking to spend $1,000, then I can tell them all the reasons why. So that you know, that's probably the biggest segment. But then, you know, they're making mountain bikes. They're making kids e-bikes now, like 24, 26-inch wheel. So it seems like silly to put like a kid on an e-bike, but then you think, oh, like I take my daughter to the city park, and like 3 miles is like all she wants to do.
Yeah.
Right? But on an e-bike, maybe she'll do 8 or 10, and then she can ride with mom and dad longer, those sorts of things. Like you still want them to have a regular bike, but that's been that's just recent, the last couple of years, the new, like the kids e-bikes and stuff. It's like, I never really thought that was going to be a thing, but
That makes sense for sure, especially with, you know, parents that like to go on those longer style rides. I mean, your kid's tapped out.
Yeah, for
done.
Sure. Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, we sell quite a bit of like traditional like road bike, like drop bar, handlebar, like road bikes that are pedal assist. So we've got this like older clientele where, you know, they start having like AFib or like heart issues and just like can't do it anymore. Like, doctors like, no, you can't get your heart rate above 140 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've sold quite a few to those guys, and that keeps them riding, like otherwise they're screwed, especially around here. It's so hilly. Like you have to be able to like go up and down a hill. So that's been a pretty cool thing, just to see, like, because you get these guys that have been like cyclists their whole life, and then they get to this moment where you're like, I might not be able to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And they still can. So that's so sick. I love
That's
that part
awesome.
of it.
Yeah. That's something that you don't think about a lot, is like being able to use your body and being able to, or being told like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. And it's a weird, like the whole, I'm not like a doctor obviously, but like the whole AFib thing, a lot of it comes from like, they've been endurance athletes their whole life. Then you get like this, like your heart gets like enlarged, like the muscle just grows, right? And then it causes all these problems down the road. And you're like, wait, what? So like I was too fit? Like, what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
How do you win?
It's something like, yeah. So that's what happens a lot with endurance, like older endurance athletes. They run into these like heart problems. And so it's cool like that you can kind of like
balance.
keep somebody moving, because that's the whole thing. Stop moving. Like it's not good.
That's when you
Oh
die.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
You start declining. Is there anything that you specifically want the community to know about you and what you're doing?
Yeah, I guess that like our shop, I think sometimes especially if you look like at our socials or whatever, we definitely specialize in like higher end stuff. Like I have like a whole section of the shop. Basically, we call it our showroom. Like when you walk in, like where the side that used to be Delishy, it's all my bougie stuff. I've got, $14,000 bikes and jerseys that cost $300, and just like super high end boutique level stuff. But we have kids bikes, and we have hybrids and commuters, and I have $700 hardtail mountain bikes. So I guess if all you did, if you've never heard of our shop before, and you scroll my Instagram and you're gonna see like a bike build video of a $18,000 bike, like you're gonna be like, this might not be the place for me, but we are for sure. So like, we try to be a little bit of, something for everyone, which is, it's hard to do, but
100%.
But, since we've expanded, we've really been able to like, broaden our horizons and make sure that like we pretty much have you covered. And if we don't have exactly what you want, I can get pretty darn close to it for you in a couple of days. So that would be the main thing, a lot of people have had bad experiences at bike shops. Like there's this kind of, like this stigma, like you get this old cranky asshole mechanic that's just been working for like 30 years and just like wants to hide in the back and no
Doesn't
customer
want to
service.
answer your questions.
But like we're super chill.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have an amazing staff. I think I've got 5 or 6 people working for me now, either part-time or full-time. And, and like, we've got some kids from the LR Tri team that work part-time. Like we're super chill. We're super cool. I mean, like if you're remotely interested in cycling at all, come by. Everyone that works at the shop rides. So we all know and we'll all ride different types of bikes and do different sorts of things. So we can talk to you about that sort of stuff. Like, if you're interested in e-bikes, I have some that you can test ride, take one for a spin, like see what it's all about. And, obviously we've got the beer and the coffee too. So if you have no desire to like ride a bike whatsoever, but like we have like 8 taps of craft beer.
There you go.
And I've got like espresso machine like fired up. So yeah. So I guess that's the main thing. It's like don't be scared, to swing by. Like we love talking about this stuff. It's like we're all, like I said, we're all enthusiasts. We're like super passionate about it. So yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever, like we're
yeah, questions can be intimidating, but that's nice to know that it's a welcoming environment.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
go in and fearlessly ask.
It's a fun place to be.
Dumb
Like
questions.
if it wasn't fun, like I would have quit doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you don't get rich. You don't become a
Yeah.
millionaire on a bike shop. Like it's just, it doesn't work that way. Like we all do it because we love it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think it shows. If you come to the shop, it shows that.
You can feel it in there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I
It sounds
think
like
so.
you've taken the time to really curate the space for the people who are passionate about it.
Yeah,
That always reflects.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's like, I'm very fortunate because like it took a long time to get there. We kind of like lost our way a few times. A lot of it wasn't our fault. Like the COVID time was like bonkers. Like we ran out of bikes to sell, and the whole world did, right? So we kind of lost our way a bit. But like I can say, like pretty much hands down, the bike shop is exactly what I envision it should be. There's like maybe one thing. We don't do bike fitting. That's like the only thing I can think of that we don't do that would like maybe complete like the circle of like all the things a bike shop in my brain should be.
Yeah.
So like it is like my like I don't know, it's like my baby, you know, like but you can't like maybe that's not the best.
That's the best analogy
because you can't.
We know exactly what you mean.
Build your baby like you know what I mean. You get what, but it's like it's like every aspect of it is like handpicked the way I want it to be. So I don't know. Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah,
it shows how passionate that you are, and
100%.
and I can tell that you would have definitely picked a team that would.
Yeah,
it would be a requirement.
Yeah,
for
we've
you
always
to have
had
fun.
like awesome. We've had awesome employees, and I mean, no one's ever left on bad terms. Like I'm still friends with all of the guys that like that started it, and that have worked for us over the years. We're all still super close, and there hasn't been a ton of them, honestly. So, but yeah, it's like one of those things where like if you're gonna do it, like it's a passion project, I guess is the best way to put it. And if you're not doing your passion project the way you want to, like you're not gonna want to keep doing it because it's
100%. That shows a lot about you as an owner, though, that every single person that has came through there has left on good terms, and shows how much passion that you bring, as well as what kind of passion that you want from your team to bring behind you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, like I was saying, like it's not a super lucrative business. Mm-hmm. So everyone that's working there, if you're not like, if you had no interest in bicycles whatsoever, and you came and you worked, you're like, I could probably make the same money somewhere else, and not like, or maybe a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But because like we love it, like.
It doesn't feel like work.
It's not
when you're happy to be there and you're excited about what's going on.
Now, I don't know. Maybe you should talk to people that work for me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think everybody agrees. Like, no, even if you're having a bad day, it's a lot worse places you could be to have a bad day at.
100%.
Like, we're not digging ditches, man. Like it's pretty sweet place for sure.
That's super cool. Well, yeah, they're definitely going to see it because I'm going to come swing by and shoot some video for
cool.
this
Heck
episode.
Yeah.
So that way it kind of shows what your shop has to offer, and kind of give the people a deeper look into Sudus, especially if they're scared, quote unquote, scared to walk in there.
Yeah.
You can at least watch this video and see for yourself what's in there, and then maybe you're more inclined to walk in and say hello.
Too. When I've already like seen beforehand what a place looks like, I'm much more comfortable to walk in because I know what I'm walking into.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Do you have any events or anything that you have coming up, or anything you want to plug?
Not really. I mean, like I said, we'll start doing group rides from the shop again, but we wait until the time changes.
Where do we look for that?
So if
Facebook?
Yeah, you look on our Facebook page or our Instagram, or I mean, if you're a cyclist around here or just moving here, like we use Strava, which is like the app that kind of like
I've heard of that. Yeah, for running and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have a page on there, like a club, a Carolina Pedal Works club. So if you join on there, all of our group rides show up on there with the time and date and location and all that stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'll have to get some links from you for all of that, so we can put it in the description. Obviously, I'll put the Facebook, Instagram, all of that, but it's just so that way it's a clickable link for everybody that is interested, that they can come support and show up for those rides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, sweet. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah,
we appreciate you
Thank
coming.
for coming.
My first podcast, so hopefully I did all right.
You did,
You
yeah.
did great. You did great.
For sure. You
My
definitely.
first podcast with him was live. So
Oh,
if
shit.
it makes you
Yeah.
feel better, the whole thing was live. There was no edits. And
Yeah, it was.
when he invited me to do this podcast, I was like, this is not going to be live. Just want you to know.
We got to be able to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it took me steps to go through to get to where, I'm not there yet of everything that I want to do with this. But I definitely, took me some fails to get to be like, okay, that does not work. Let's
That's
try
the
this.
Best way to learn sometimes. The hard lessons, I've been there for sure.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
understand.
you just got to jump in. That's for anything you do. Don't be scared to just jump in it. If you feel obligated to do it, just go for it. And you're gonna,
Passion-led projects.
Yeah, you're gonna mess
rarely
up.
fail. And if they do, you learn how to do it better and you keep going.
yeah, for sure. All right.
Thank you for
Well,
coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to
thanks for
hang out
having
with
me.
us.
It's awesome.
We appreciate all you guys watching, and we will see y'all soon. Peace. All right, guys, we appreciate all of you watching. Remember to go to patreon.com/Heart of Catawba and join us on Patreon for $5 a month. You get early access videos. For $10 a month, you can participate in the Q&A and ask our guest questions every week. And then for that $20 a month, we will shout you guys out here. Want to just give a quick shout out to Cranford Hospitality again. Zach Cranford, Tucker Cranford, all of them. We appreciate you allowing us to use this space and allowing us to promote you guys and for helping us. Yep. That was a run-on. That was terrible.
Yep. Not terrible.
That was terrible. All right. We appreciate all you watching this week. We will see y'all next week. Peace.
See ya.